Hey everyone, Jordan Garcia here. We're gonna do meal prep, about maybe 6 meals, maybe 7 meals. We got chicken breasts, 5 pound pack of chicken breasts. They actually just finished cooking in the oven. So we got some white rice cooking in the rice cooker. So we'll do maybe about 7 ounces of chicken per meal, a cup of white rice per meal. We got some beets that Evan Centopani put me on. He told me to start eating those, incorporating them into my diet, so I'm doing so. We got asparagus. Love asparagus for the benefits. It's good for, dropping some water weight. Really good for when you're dieting. But I keep it in, I just started keeping it in my off-season diet as well, just to shed some of that extra water weight, and it's a good vegetable as well. So, the rice is still cooking. I just get these beets cut up a little bit here. Doing it like this. Got my amino acids, branched chain amino acids. It's good to get them before you work out, during your workout, after you work out, and throughout the day. Very essential for me anyways. The pink bottle is my wife's bottle. It's the only one available right now. Actually, it's not the only one available, but it's alright. I'm not afraid of pink. I gotta be afraid of pink. I got issues. Now, I recommend anyone who's been doing bodybuilding or fitness or exercising and eating good for a while now, say maybe 6 months to a year. I recommend getting a food scale if you want to continue to make progress. You want to continue to improve your results, so you can know, just a rule of thumb is, more is not always better, but you need to know where to add more, like more protein. After a certain time, so you can continue, so you can add more muscle, or more carbs, so you can put on more size, or less carbs. So that's why a food scale would be important. So you can actually know what you're putting into your body, how much of it you're getting in. Make sure, guys, which is pretty much common sense, but make sure you have enough containers, when you start your meal prep, because, you're gonna cook a whole bunch of chicken, rice, prep, get a bunch of food cooked up, and then, you didn't think first, oh man, do I have enough containers to fit them, to get it all in? So now, first thing I like to do, I like to weigh the chicken first. remember we're doing about 7 ounces. About 7.6. So what I like to do is to take a little bit off. Is it important to get exactly 7? Yes and no. For me, it's important for accuracy, knowing how much I'm getting. And each meal is the same. I don't want to have more in one meal and then less in the other. I like to have them all the same, so I know what I'm getting every single time. Sometimes, you know, I'll leave it. So that's why I would say probably it's not as important as it may seem. Now, if you're an ounce of chicken off, then that's a big difference. But you know, half ounce maybe. You know, that's why I like to get it accurate, and it doesn't take much time to get it right. So. So, you know, this measurement right here, 6.9. Would I bother trying to get that 0.1? No, just put it in there. You know what I mean? It's around 7 ounces. 0.1 gram of protein is not going to make you or break you. So 7 is the ballpark. Is what I'm doing right now. You know, when I first started bodybuilding, I started off with 4 ounces actually, 4.5 ounces, and worked my way up over the years. So this is not to say, you know, right away you gotta eat 7 ounces of chicken. You know, work your way up, because you know, if you're not used to eating 4 or 5 ounces of chicken, you know, 3, 4, 5 times a day, then you can make progress just with 5 ounces of chicken. Now, after you do that for an extended period of time, you want to increase your protein intake the bigger you get, and also to continue to make new gains. Okay, so I got my spares of asparagus right here. The white rice just finished. So what I like to do is cut the tips. Cut the tips off the asparagus, because they're white and they're not really edible. Really hard, bitter taste. Not the tips, the ends. So then when you cut them, you get that nice soft green edible part of the asparagus. Wash them up a little bit. Nothing crazy. Now, I like to do my vegetables raw. I don't, you know, like I said, well, I say to myself all the time, you know, like, I'm not a cook, I'm not a chef, I'm a bodybuilder, so this is just fuel for my body. It doesn't have to be delicious, it doesn't even have to be cooked. And the thing about vegetables raw is that you get all the nutrients, all the micronutrients from the vegetables. When you cook them and when you boil them, you're actually getting rid of the nutrients that the vegetables provide. When you steam them, boil them, you know, cook them, stuff like that. So eating them raw is probably the healthiest way to get your vegetables in. And it's less time consuming. You see, like right now, if I wanted to cook them, I would have to throw them on the stove and wait a certain amount of time. Right here, I'm just putting them in. this one. Same thing with the beets, uncooked. What I do is I break them down. Now, we got the rice. So now 1 cup per meal. Right now, doing that much because I'm bulking up right now. So that's why I'm doing that much carbs. It's about 45 grams of carbs in a cup of white rice. Come over here if you want. Alright, so now we got our rice. We got 6 meals. Last but not least, gotta put the beets in. Not lastly would be my ranch dressing. Moisten up my chicken so it goes down easier. It's more chewable. It's easier to eat and it tastes better. See, so simple things like this, just a simple condiment could change everything, you know. When it comes to meal prep, you know, you don't have to be a chef, you know, and it doesn't have to be a 5-star meal, you know. I'm not saying that this is going to taste just as good as something that you get from a restaurant, but this is bodybuilding, this is fitness. There's a purpose to why we're eating this way and prepping this way. We're not just trying to, you know, eat delicious meals every day. That's not the goal. The goal is to get this food to help us grow, to change our physique, to improve our physiques. So there you go. 6 meal prep. That'll last maybe 2 days. So I'll have maybe 5 meals. Breakfast, I'll probably have 2 breakfasts, or maybe breakfast and maybe a cheeseburger throughout the day or something. Then I'll have 3 of these meals. If I can, I'll do 4, and then this will be good for the next day, and then I'll have to prep again.
there it is.